Hey folks, it's Dan from DisneyInfinityCodes.com, and I'm here inside the toy box of Disney Infinity 3.0, taking a quick peek at the new Zootopia Power Disc Pack and the two customization hexagonal discs that are included, the Stars over Sahara Square and the Sahara Square Sands, or Sands of Sahara Square. I got the international packaging. I can't for the life of me remember off the top of my head because there's so many S words. But no, Stars over Sahara Square and the Sahara Square Sands, I believe. Sahara Square Sands. There we go. And so the texture disc, which is the Sahara Sand Square, or Sahara Square Sands. Whew, this is tricky. It kind of has some cool textures here. We got a nice little animal print going on for the flat terrain pieces, and then the side of the terrain pieces has a nice little kind of, I don't know if it's a zebra or like kind of like a tiger stripe kind of thing going on. So you've got kind of like a giraffe, maybe leopard print on the ground, and like a zebra tiger stripe for the side terrain, which is very, very cool. I dig that. And if we come over here to the road section of the map, you can see that it's got this fun little lit stone pathway kind of road thing going on for the specific road texture. So if you want to make any Zootopia racetracks, this is the what the road will look like. So that is the texture disc for the flat terrain and the side terrain. And so if we head over to all these little platforms we have set up here, we can take a peek at the fantasy terrain pieces and how they transform into all the different various pieces, all 9 of them, I believe. And so this here is fantasy terrain piece number 1. And so there's kind of like because this is the Sahara Sands, that's kind of, which is what you see there in the background. It's the bottom corner of the Zootopia land, as it were. If you visit our site, DisneyInfinityCodes.com, and take a search for Zootopia, you'll find an article where we have the map of Zootopia, and you can see that Sahara Sands is below the icy area where Mr. Big resides, and then the Zootropolis area, which is kind of to the northwest of it. So there's a kind of like a resort kind of feel to these fantasy terrain pieces, and so you got this cool like little banister here, some foliage, some bushes and such, and a cool little lantern there. Then we can head over to the second platform for fantasy terrain piece number 2. And we've got a cool little kind of canopy a canopy with like a lounge, another little table here, and a lamp. Very, very, very beautiful, colorful, bright, vibrant pieces. So that's fantasy terrain piece number 2. Then we can come over here and take a peek at fantasy terrain number 3, which is some nice tall grouping of trees. With some bushes there at the bottom. Nothing super fancy going on there, but some really pretty flowers and whatnot. So there is fantasy terrain piece number 3 there. All right, and now let's hop over to fantasy terrain number 4, which is another tree piece, but this time just a single tree with a lantern at the bottom of it, and some flowers and decorations there around that. So there's fantasy terrain piece number 4, and then finally number 5 is right over here on this platform, and this is a nice little fountain. There's a nice little water animation there. I dig it. Looks really great. Very cute. Adorable. Love it. So that's fantasy terrain piece number 5. So now the only thing left are the strips and the corners. And so if we come over here, fantasy terrain strip number 1 is right here on this platform, and that's right here. And so you've got a nice little pathway there with some trees can add a nice little decoration. And what's nice about this is that, sure, it's Zootopia themed, but you can use this in a lot of different kinds of maps and toy box building, particularly like, if you're going to go jungle themed and whatnot. So this will be kind of perfect for a lot of toy box builders out there. And then we come over here to Fantasy Train Strip number 2, and this is very cool. We've got this nice little kind of resort wall with lanterns, and then kind of this beautiful ironwork and some vines. It's a very cool piece. I like it a lot. This kind of stuff could also work kind of beautifully in any kind of Aladdin toy box you're building too, because it's got all that Moroccan kind of flair, that kind of feel. So I can see that definitely working out for a lot of toy box builds. Come over here to Fantasy Train Corner number 1, and we will find this piece, which we've got a nice grouping of bushes there, some lanterns, a little bit of blue in the coloring there with the flowers, which is very pretty. So that's Fantasy Train Corner. Get a little nice aerial view of it. That's corner number 1. And then we swing around and drop over here to the last Fantasy Terrain corner, and this is number 2. So this is the final Fantasy Terrain piece, and this has got a nice little oasis feel to it. I really dig it. It's got a nice little waterfall. Really, really cool, beautiful piece there. This is going to be some really valuable set of fantasy terrain pieces for a lot of building, because they're very versatile. They don't have a lot of, it doesn't scream Zootopia, which is nice. It's nice that they kind of giving us some assets that aren't necessarily so strictly themed to that intellectual property of Zootopia. And finally, we can check out the Sky Dome, and of course YouTube, so I have the music turned off, but there's a really great soundtrack that comes along with the Sky Dome, so make sure you grab it and take a listen. And then we'll just do a nice little 360 view here of the Sky Dome. And so you see that we're in the Sahara area, because it's all sandy and deserty underneath as the floor. But as you zoom out and look around the Sky Dome, you can see where all the different lands that are featured in the movie all kind of converge. And so there's like the icy area where Mr. Big lives, this train that moves its way over to the Sahara Sands resort, where we see the Shakira character singing. There's a few scenes there. And again, I don't know any of the context of all this because the movie hasn't come out yet. I haven't seen it, and I'll be seeing it on March 1st. But and then we have Zootropolis. And again, if you look at the map that's on the wall of the police station and in the trailers, you can see that this toy box Sky Dome is kind of like right in the middle of the map, where all 3 of these areas kind of converge together, where the center of Zootropolis is. So there you go, folks. There is the Sky Dome and texture for Zootopia's Power Disc Pack for Disney Infinity 3.0. As always, thanks so much for watching, and visit us at DisneyInfinityCodes.com.